to learn from. Luther will be doing his icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes, entitled Put God First.
Madam Toastmaster, guests, and members and guests. I was taught one thing from the time I was born, time before anything come up with my mind and my dad. It was to always respect people, always to put God first. Treat people like you want to be treated. That was some words that I heard from the very beginning from my dad up to the very time that I'm this very day. Living in East Tennessee in the country, we were raised on a farm. We had about maybe 200 or 300 acre farm. We were very fortunate to own our farm. We raised a lot of produce and a lot of animals, that, things like cows, and, turkeys, and chickens, and horses, and things. So I was pretty privileged to be on the farm. However, as time went on, we had to go to school. My dad seemed fit to us to move into the city to go to school. So we moved to the city to go to school. During that period of time, however, the African American school had closed, and we had to be integrated into the white schools during that period of time. So you can pretty much say that I was the beginning of immigration in the early 60s in that part of the country. It was a very mind-boggling experience for me because I couldn't understand some things. One of the things I could never understand was the fact that how can two cultures live in the same community, the same state, the same country, and like baseball, apple pie, and hot dogs, and it would be so different. I could never understand that. But as I went to this integrated school, I made a lot of friends. And I seen there wasn't a different way we thought. There was not a different way we see things. It was just the same people that liked the same things. I don't know what happened in that period of time, but it's something I couldn't understand in the very beginning. Nevertheless, I graduated from high school. I was drafted into the military. I went overseas into Asia, Taiwan, Formosa, Thailand, Philippines. But the main, I guess the main tour of duty there that I really got something out of that was I was selected to go into the most elite unit of all, the United States Armed Forces police. You live downtown, you work downtown. You investigate things like a police officer would. We went down there, as we worked down there, we had the uniforms, the white patch, lace uniform with the Armed Forces police patch. We had the white lace boots. We had the big white belts, and we had the big white helmet. We were ambassadors for the United States Air Force. We were in charge of all the military services. Everything went on downtown. It was our job to investigate it and take care of business down there. It was a very rewarding experience for me because they never had enlisted military men serve with veterans, master sergeants, senior master sergeants, lieutenants, and captains. To make a long story short, the period of time went very fast. And during that period of time, being stationed, they had a fire downtown one night. They had a fire down there. And people were trying to get out of a building. It was a club. As they were trying to get out of the club, there was a man who fell and broke his leg, and he could not get out. The fire was so intense, he couldn't get out of the fire. And apparently he was just there, but nobody could get him because the fire was too bad. I took it upon myself to go in and save that man's life. I saved that man's life. I went in, got him out, pulled him out to safety, not knowing somebody in that crowd seen it. And 2 years later, I got the United States Air Force Commendation Medal. After that, I got my honorable discharge from the military, went back home, became a police officer. As a police officer, I never thought in a million years that I would be there 35 years, but I was. There was things that happened when I was there. I formed and implemented the first bike patrol unit. Now they have a whole fleet of bikes. A very unique bike patrol with 10 units or more cycles. I also started the first juvenile safety patrol. I was the first black African American to graduate, to actually retire from the police department there. The first one after 35 years. I was the first one to retire. So I did graduate from FBI National Academy in 1998. I graduated from the Tennessee Law Enforcement Academy. I graduated from the Cleveland State University with a degree in criminal justice. I also graduated with another degree in some more things, a couple more things. So I'm going to wrap my time up. I'm a little bit nervous too. So, it's Toastmasters.
The icebreaker is the first speech in your competent communicator manual. It's a chance for us to hear you get up before the club, give a speech, find out what you can do and where you could use a little improvement. Luther, your volume was excellent. You're not afraid to talk to us. That's good. We should be very afraid of you. Now that we know a little bit more about you. Your values are based on respect. I was taught much the same thing, to respect others, to treat others as you want to be treated. It's a very good value system, one that works time and time again. It's carried you well through your life, as we can see. Your speech was very good. For a rookie, and you haven't been called that in a long, long time, you did very well. You were a little nervous at first. It showed. You used a crutch word. You knew you just had to think a second and tell us what you wanted to tell us next. And as you went along, you started doing that. You relaxed. You got into what you were talking about. You know who you are. Starting out, growing up on a farm. And I'll tell you what, the farm life, there's good and bad, but it teaches you values that you will never lose your whole life. We got to visit farms as kids for a week or two at a time. I learned to drive a tractor at 8 years old. Things you never forget. Luther gave us enough information that we want to hear more about you. You've got so many different adventures on different parts of your life that you got all your speech material set. You don't even have to look up anything. Your volume is good. We didn't realize that you're a real life hero. You braved your life. You risked your life to go in and save a man you didn't know that was going to burn up. And that shows real values. As far as improving, what you can improve upon, gee, got a hard time finding that. Getting away from the lectern, which you'll get to. When you know your subject very well, get out and talk to each and every one of us. When you want to make a point,
These all mine?
make a point in one area. If it has to do with something over on the farm, that was over here. But if it's your present day life, that could be over here. You got good skills already. You've gotten over your little bit of timidness of speaking loud enough for us to hear. I was really pleased to hear that. We look forward to your next speeches. And I know I can't say anything bad because there might be a black car going up in front of my house. Good job, and I look forward to your next speeches.